The key facts are all now known. Everything is on the table, the memorandum's contents. The person who asked me to, do all of this was Ambassador Haqqani. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. I've known him for about 11 years. I still believe he's a good man. I think he was faced with impossible circumstances on that day, and tried to find a way to do this that would not raise the heckles, if you will, of the establishment in Pakistan. But the problem in these things is always the same, Sana. It's America or Pakistan or India or any other country. The minute you start to try and cover things up, you have a problem. Because it begs the question that if there is a cover-up, what are they hiding? And I think that the people of Pakistan, through the process of a judicial inquiry or through the process of a Senate inquiry or whatever other type of committee that will be formed to look at all of this, has an enormous obligation, because the issue here is not just the memo, the content of the memo, the actions of an ambassador or not. The issue here is more fundamental for Pakistan as a country, and that is, in this day and age, is it still possible for a narrow cabal, a narrow faction of the civilian government or the ISI or the army to go off and run the country's affairs without taking either the parliament, the prime minister, the foreign office, the organs of state, if you will, into account to ensure that everybody's on board and agrees with what it is that needs to be done.
Okay, now can I just read out a BlackBerry message that you have published yourself, which says you're talking to, of course, Hussain Haqqani. Now that we know, he trusts me enough to know I won't bring it forward unless it has top-level approval. He does not need it with any email addresses, etc. He will scrub that in any event. If you want names to be mentioned, yours, JK, MD, etc., I will do that in person. Now, I know that you have identified Hussain Haqqani, but it would only be fair you also identify the he that you're talking about here, and JK and MD.
You're a tough interviewer, Sana, I'll tell you that. Let me put it this way, that the other two people, there's no secret here, but I don't believe, were involved in the conception of this idea, nor in the construction of the memo. So let me make that very clear up front. But when Ambassador Haqqani originally spoke with me that day at about 12:35, 12:37 in the afternoon, he made clear to me that this was not just him that was putting this idea together, that there were others that were going to be brought on board, is the way he put it. And those people included people that the United States government had confidence and trust in, both of whom had served as previous ambassadors to the United States, one of them being Muhammad, I think it's Muhammad Asif Durrani, I don't really remember what his first name is, and the other one being Jahangir Karamat.
Jahangir Karamat, okay. And now you're taking these other two names that you're not sure of were involved, but the names were taken. Is that correct?
Yeah, these two names were taken. He did not know the other people in Pakistan that I know of, and it is my view, and I want to be very clear of that at this moment, that these were names that were mentioned sort of in passing as a part of a team, if you will. The idea was that Pakistan would, under a, we say, redefined architecture of civilian governance, would have a powerful post of the National Security Advisor. I believe that Ambassador Haqqani sought that particular for himself, that there would be a revamped defense ministry, and the defense minister would be one of these two gentlemen and would be responsible for then managing the affairs of the Army and the ISI. That there would be then a much more powerful and revamped position of the foreign minister.
Okay, there's also a message in which you get slightly threatening. Please remind your boss that his beloved wife, who later became a good friend of mine, tried the same beep-beep tactics in '96 when Maliha was envoy. Result, her government was dismissed in November '96. I'm not someone he can mess around with. He better get that message from me and really understand it. Why it get threatening?
Yeah, so this was a BBM conversation that took place about, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, I think November 1st or October 28th, I forget which one it was. And it was a conversation, if you read it in full context, essentially during that, session, Hussein was very hard to persuade me not to engage with the Pakistani media, not to allow these, things to come out bit by bit. I think he was pretty clear about the fact that there was a real risk that the full story would come out, that it would, in fact, a charge of treason or whatever it may be that's being, now bandied about. I haven't read today's press that carefully to know what they're saying. Bottom line is that he was the one who sort of started that, shall we say, friendly intimidation process with me. First it was persuasion, then it was slightly more tough, and then I just had enough of this. You don't tell me what to do, you don't tell me how to do it, you don't tell me when to do it. This is something that you asked me to do, accept the responsibility for it, and if you're not prepared to accept the responsibility for it, I will see to it that or no. That's it. That was just that simple.
Okay, Mr. Ijaz, you told me the last interview I conducted with you last Sunday. I keep giving this reference because I want to remind my viewers what you said that day, and you said that there was somebody from Pakistan government who came to you, checked your BBM pins, verified everything, has the forensic evidence, it sits with him. Can you identify that him to me today?
Yeah.
You can't.
To say to you, you know exactly who to go ask, and if you ask them, I think you'll find that they're firm. That's all I can say. It's not.
I'm asking you, Mr. Ijaz, because I don't know where to go now.
There are 4 institutions in your country that could have sent somebody to me: the Supreme Court, the Army, the ISI, and the Presidency. So I'll let you decide, or the Prime Ministership. I'll let you decide which you need to go ask. Go ask all of them.
Okay.